All right, everybody, welcome back to the Freedom Ticket. And now I'm very honored to invite our next guest, who's one of the top players in the space, one of the top Amazon influencers out there. Gracie, welcome to the Freedom Ticket program.
Thank you for having me, Bradley. I'm excited to talk about the topic today. It's one of my favorites.
Now, we're talking about how Amazon sellers can work with influencers, but like I mentioned, you are an influencer yourself, and you actually are very entwined in the Amazon world, even starting selling on Amazon yourself. So you know kind of like both sides. Let's just get a little bit of backstory from you, first of all. I know we did a podcast together, but maybe people didn't hear this podcast. But how did you kind of become an influencer in the e-commerce space?
Sure. So actually, it all stemmed from me loving and being an Amazon customer myself. I would always shop for things and then find different ways to save money and deals. And then that kind of started my journey of sharing that online and then helping other people find deals, products, finds, how to save money on Amazon. So as I was creating content about that, I actually did not realize at first the other side of the Amazon seller world and the brand world. And that came later on when I realized when I would talk about something and share something, then when people bought it, there was a seller on the other side getting sales and getting really cool perks from that on top of all the sales that I apparently was generating. So that's how it all started. And from there, I've learned so much more about what it is like on the seller side, on the brand side, and how to connect the two and how to help brands work with influencers in the best way possible.
Now, fast forwarding, from that start, how many followers across all platforms do you have now?
So my biggest platform being TikTok, currently standing at 1.1 million followers. But if you are going to combine all of my 6 platforms together, it's looking like about 1.4 million in total.
Okay. Now we're gonna get into the the nitty gritty a little bit on how somebody can work with somebody like you, or maybe even doesn't have to be somebody with millions of followers like you, but just to give people a like a kind of like gauge on what the potential is. What are some successful campaigns you run? Like maybe it was a crazy live streaming that you did, or maybe it was just you sharing a link on something on TikTok and it went viral. But I'm curious, what did it mean for the seller, the Amazon seller you were working with? What kind of payday or what kind of sales did they get because of something you did, just to make people understand how big this could be?
Sure. So before I go into like the best of the best, I want to preface that this is an amazing success story. And as much as I want to guarantee this every single time, it doesn't happen all the time. But one that stands out to me is I did a video about a walking pad, which is just like a treadmill that you can slide under your desk and I guess work from home and like walk and get your steps in. And I was not working with the brand at all. This is just something that I wanted to share as a deal. I think I was sharing like a 50% off promo code for it. And the video ended up going viral, over 2 million views. And I think it ended up generating a little over $70,000 in revenue for the brand. However, that treadmill ended up selling out. So a bunch of other brands also kind of got like the halo effect. Like somebody was like, I want this walking pad, but maybe that one was sold out. So a couple, like I think 10 other brands with walking pads ended up getting a lot sold as well. So that was a pretty good one for them.
So again, guys, we're not trying to say that, oh yeah, all you got to do is find any random influencer and you're going to have that success. But the reason why you do want to at least try is because this is the potential of what could happen. So let's go ahead and, now we skip to the end. Now let's go back to the beginning. Why in the first place does it make sense for somebody to want to work with an influencer, apart from the fact that they know the potential of the sales?
Right. So I think just looking at the Amazon ecosystem as a whole, as a brand, as a seller, I know a lot are talking about PPC strategies and challenges that they're facing with working with PPC. So on the other side of something, and I'm not saying that PPC is not to be used, but I think another kind of piece of the puzzle that you can also take advantage of is external traffic and organic external traffic by using influencers, social media, and short form content. So PPC, they're always saying it's getting more expensive and more competitive, and Amazon really wants that off-site traffic to come in. So that is a really important reason why it's worth it to work with influencers. And I also know that a lot of brands kind of wonder, how do I find the best influencers? There might be thousands out there. Which ones are the right fit for me, given my budget, given my product, given my niche? So I want to talk on that too, and talk about the process of working with influencers too, and answer any questions that go along with that. A lot of it is a little bit intimidating, thinking about the whole process of the campaign and reaching out and the details and the nitty-gritty of it all. And hopefully I can clarify that too. But overall, it can help with your brand. It can help with your brand awareness and the long-term success of it. It can take your brand from just like an Amazon listing to something that's so much bigger off Amazon. It can become a trending topic. It can become a household name. And there's just so much possibility with working with influencers.
Awesome. Now, there's a word, influencer. There's also a word like a brand ambassador. Are the two the same thing, or is there a difference between the two?
Very minor differences, just like the word influencer and creator can coexist and kind of mean the same thing. So brand ambassador, I want to say, and people might have different interpretations of it, but brand ambassador to me means less about how much following and how much quote unquote influence somebody has. But a brand ambassador is just somebody that uses your product, knows your product, and loves your product, and can vouch authentically for your product. So this is more somebody who can be anybody and just uses and knows your product well enough to speak on it in a positive way and talk about it to other people. Somebody who endorses your product. And they don't have to have a following. They don't have to have tons of people behind them. And this is a really, really great opportunity to get some UGC or user-generated content for your product by just talking to ambassadors. And a lot of brands can kind of create communities from their own customers and just group them together, offer them some new products to try, or you can get feedback from them. It's kind of like fans of your brand, if you will say. An influencer is maybe just somebody who has a following, influences others with their content per se.
Okay, excellent. Now, let's just say I'm a brand new seller, or maybe I'm an experienced seller, but I've never worked with influencers before. I'm sure you've talked to many sellers like that. And so you can probably anticipate maybe some of the obstacles that somebody who's just starting to work with influencers might face, or some of the frequently asked questions that they might have. Right.
So in the couple of years that I've talked to sellers and brands, I've gotten a couple of the same questions. And typically they are about outreach. How do I reach out? If I reach out, how many do I reach out to? And when I reach out, why are they not responding? Why are they not all responding to me? And then a couple other questions about like budget. Like, maybe I don't have the biggest budget right now starting out. I need capital for other things. How can I still work with influencers while not having tons of money to spend? And that's a really good question, with which like you totally can work with influencers on any size budget. And what kind of results and expectations to have as well. So they're like, what can I even expect from this? Is it like a one-time thing? Should I expect to sell out? Should I expect to make $70,000? What that looks like, and just kind of managing the campaign as well. So those are kind of like the three main pain points I've seen.
Okay. Now taking a step back, even before we get to that point, I'm brand new. How do I even look for my first influencer to work with?
Right. So I would say a really, really great way is to look at your product, look at your niche, and then use those keywords on social media and just see what's out there and see who's creating content about that already. So I guess we can just look at a pet brand, just to like throw an example in there. If you have like a pet product, you can search keywords. You could say like dog bowl, you could say pet leash, dog water bowl, whatever. You can use that product keyword or product title, search it on Instagram, search it on TikTok, search it on Facebook, search on whatever platform you're interested in seeing. And I guarantee you, there will be content that pops up around that, and you'll see who's already talking about products similar to it. And then based on that, you can look at their content, look at the engagement, look at the style, and see, okay, this is a person that knows the kind of product that I sell. They're clearly talking about it to their audience already. Do I want them to work with me for my brand? And that's an amazing way to like organically search for somebody relevant and go from there. So hashtag research, kind of. Yeah.
There you go. You see, everything is a hashtag with you, but that's how people are start thinking about it. There's actually, speaking of that, I'm glad you mentioned that. What's the a couple of hashtags where I can use to actually find some like people who are already experienced with promoting like Amazon products?
I'll just name a few. So there are some hashtags that every Amazon influencer or content creator knows if they're talking about Amazon products. Hashtag Amazon finds, hashtag Amazon must-haves, hashtag founded on Amazon, hashtag Amazon haul, hashtag Amazon unboxing, hashtag Amazon pet finds. There you go. Those are the big ones.
I love it. Tons of stuff, tons of good stuff.
Yes.
Now, you've mentioned before on podcasts and other places, like, media kits. What percentage of, does every influencer have this, or like only a certain size? And what should I be looking for in this kit?
Yes. So I think once an influencer starts taking their content creation journey seriously as a business, they should be able to have a media kit. And this is typically just like a resume, but for content creators. It's going to have examples of their content. It's going to have their numbers, their engagement, preferably. It's going to show you what kind of topics they talk about, what their audience demographics are. And I think the most three important things to look for on a media kit is engagement rate, which is basically how much of their audience is actually engaging with their content, conversion rate, which is how much of their content actually converts into clicks and sales. And you can also ask an influencer if they've worked with your product category before. Let's say you're a candle brand. You can say, have you worked with candle brands before? If so, how did that campaign go? Can you share results from that? And so those are the most important things. But I'd say if not everybody has it, if they're taking it seriously, they should have one.
Now, there are companies out there maybe that can go find me or connect me with an influencer, or agencies or maybe websites, things like that. Should I be using that? Are those safer to use, or should I feel comfortable just reaching out on my own using these techniques you said?
I personally think that the outreach process, especially with like just looking at hashtags and vetting these people by yourself, is totally easy, doable, and should not take too much time. However, if you want a completely hands-off approach and you're like, I don't even want to touch it, it's okay to outsource. It's safe to do so. And there are plenty of agencies out there successful with it. However, I do want to say they probably have a really huge roster. They probably just reach out to a ton of people that may or may not be a good fit. And not to mention, they may be very expensive to work with. So I think it's a very much budget-friendly way to do it yourself. And then you have kind of a more direct way to kind of vet, is this a good person for my brand? And you can have that decision for yourself instead of trusting somebody else to do it that doesn't know your brand as well.
Okay, let's switch gears a little bit and talk about UGC. I think in another module in Freedom to Get, Kevin referred to it, but just in case somebody forgot that or they haven't seen that yet, what does UGC stand for, and how does this tie into what we're talking about, in the influencer world?
So UGC stands for user generated content. And so instead of having a piece of content around your product or brand being posted onto social media on an influencer's page or on an influencer's site, this is basically a piece of content. Could be a lifestyle photo, could be a product photo, could be a video, any kind of video. This is something that you as the brand or seller owns the copyright usage for, and therefore it doesn't necessarily have to be posted, but that means you as the brand can use it anywhere you want, as long as you have the rights to use it. So that could be in a bunch of different places. You could technically use this for A+ content on your listing. You could use it as a shoppable video on your listing, which I'm sure we'll touch on soon. You could use it as a paid ad on social media. You could use it for actual PPC ad visuals if you want to. You could post it to your social media. You could use it on your brand's website, SEO articles, media pitches, email newsletters, feature it on your product packaging as like, just lifestyle images. You could put in your user manual. And there's just like unlimited possibilities with UGC, but it's really, really helpful. It just kind of brings life and actual people using your product to your listing and your brand.
Now, we could probably go deep into this subject, but I'm just, maybe a simpler question is, where's the line drawn as far as like what I have the rights to post? Like I assume if somebody just posts a video to Instagram or YouTube, I can't just like use something that rips that video down and just paste it and promote it everywhere. Whereas like if a customer sends me a video of them using their product and they just say in the email, yeah, you could use this. Like, is that good enough? Like, do I need contracts? Do I need lawyers? Like, some of us might be worrying about, hey, like, I don't want to get sued for using these user-generated content if I don't have the rights.
Right. So the quick answer to that is never ever assume anything is yours to use. Never assume anything belongs to you.
Anh chị đây bán hàng trên Amazon. Skyrock cung cấp các dịch vụ dành cho các nhà bán hàng trên Amazon với mức giá cực kỳ ưu đãi như đăng ký brand với USPTO, từ Talent Hand, từ Triple Scout, Logistics và Warehouse. Xem hình thông tin chi tiết dưới phần mô tả nhé.
Definitely do not take an influencer video, even if it is your product. Never take that video and just assume that it's yours because it's your product and they made it. So the best way and the only way to go about that is to reach out to the owner and creator of the video. Say, hey, I'd like to purchase usage rights for this video. Ask their rate, ask their charge. It can range from low to high depending on the creator. And from there, I would say you should have some sort of simple agreement or document or contract stating, hey, I own this piece of content for this amount of money for what amount of time? Because there are a lot of different that you can have usage for this video for 30 days, 3 months, 6 months, a year, or indefinitely. So have that laid out just to be clear on both sides. And it will involve some sort of communication between you and the creator before you own that piece of content. So that's the best way to do it.
Okay, cool. We're learning a lot of new terms, today. Influencer, ambassador, UGC. Another term we'd like your definition on is shoppable video. What does that mean and how can it be used?
Sure. So shoppable video is a feature on every single product listing on Amazon. So as long as you're brand registered, you will have shoppable videos featured on your Amazon listing. Basically, they are a type of video that Amazon influencers can upload to their Amazon influencer storefronts, and they can tag your product ASIN on the video, and that has the opportunity to show up on your listing. It right now is located under the description, right above the reviews, and there's like a row of up to 15 videos, and it says videos about this product. And I think it's really important to be there because if you don't have any videos yet uploaded for your product, it will say videos about related products, and actually your competitors' products that have videos will end up on your listing and potentially drive your traffic away from your listing. So it's not only an opportunity to bring more visuals and more videos and tutorials and demos and everything to your product listing, but it's also best to have that line filled instead of empty so you can keep your traffic and keep everything on your listing about your product.
And now correct me if I'm wrong, but like a lot of Amazon influencers or most, if not all Amazon influencers, other than the ones who, might be just, they have their own thing going, but most are Amazon affiliates. And so if I actually record a video as an Amazon influencer, I'm going to be incentivized to put it on a seller's listing, because if somebody clicks that video, even if they're just watching it inside of the carousel or whatever, and then they purchase the product, I'm going to get a percentage of that as the influencer, right?
Yes, yes. So any Amazon influencer with a storefront has the option to upload these shoppable videos. And these shoppable videos can not only be on your listing, but also the Inspire feed, which is like Amazon's TikTok style feed, as well as just placements around Amazon and Amazon ads off Amazon as well. So there's multiple places that these videos can show up. But the important part that you mentioned is that they're kind of like an affiliate link within itself. So if I were a random customer or shopper on Amazon and I see a shoppable video on your listing and I watch it and I'm like, okay, I'll buy it. And then I go purchase, then the influencer gets basically an affiliate commission from that video. So a ton of influencers are just making reviews, demos, tutorials of all the Amazon products they have, so they can basically make affiliate commissions from them. Definitely.
Okay, cool. Now, maybe I'm going to go ahead and ask an influencer to just do that. And I know, some influencers I still might have to pay, but some might be incentivized to do it on their own if I send them a product, because they know they have the potential to get money. So in the situation where I have a little bit more control, where it's not like just me waiting for them to make a video on their own, what should I be telling the influencer? Like, what kind of videos work good in this section that you're talking about? If
I were the seller trying to get videos from my listing, I would focus on not how many followers that influencer has off of Amazon, because it does not matter in the slightest their following number. They could have 20 followers on Instagram, but make amazing quality content. I will be using them because that video, and I would also look into making different style videos. I wouldn't just have like 10 unboxings, 10 tutorials. I would want an unboxing, a review, tutorial, a demo, a comparison between my product and my competitor's product. I would want different style videos. So if I were a shopper, I have all those options to look into and find different details about the product. So to answer your question there, I would say find a good quality content creators and try to have them create different styles of videos as well. And that is the best way to fill up your row of videos on your listing.
Okay. So in that use case, there could be a case where maybe I don't even have like some agreement with the influencer to pay them a certain amount because Amazon is the one just paying them. And in that situation, I don't even maybe have visibility on how much Amazon is paying them or how many clicks that they're getting and things. But so in other situations where I need to kind of like, maybe I have some agreement to pay them a certain amount, how in the world am I tracking what the influencer is doing so that I know, how to pay them and if they're effective or not?
There are two answers I want to give to this question. So first of all, I want to say, because influencers are also getting paid the commission from any sales that they generate from clicks of just people watching the video and then purchasing the product, there is the possibility of just offering free product to the influencer for them to create content with. And this is something that happens a lot, and it's totally okay to do as long as the influencer discloses that this product was gifted for the creation of that video. So that's just like a verbal / text disclosure that they have to do on their videos when they make it. But you as a brand can say, hey, I'm going to gift you my product. I'm going to send you a sample for free. Here are the talking points that I want you to give. I want you to make a review video, a demo, unboxing, whatever. These are my talking points. Please include them in the video. And you can go from there. And it doesn't always have to require a posting fee or a flat fee at all. And again, remember, there are thousands of influencers out there who can make these videos, and you can search for the best ones and maybe lower rates if you want to. So second is going to be about tracking. So you as the brand, unfortunately, do not have exact results of like how many sales did this shoppable video generate. But if you're already working with the influencer, they have that data. So what you can do is ask them, hey, they have the Amazon Associates backend reports and their Amazon Associates Central. And you can say, can you see how many units of this product that I sold? And they can search by the item title and hopefully give you a number based on their backend data of how many units that video did for them.
So for straight affiliate links, I, as the seller, might not have visibility into things, but I know there's a type of link that I, as a seller, can actually give to the influencer that not only can I track, but there's an added bonus, if I should say so, like a pun intended.
That's a good one.
Talk a little bit about that.
Sure. So typically when you're working with an influencer, they are going to be driving their traffic to an Amazon affiliate link, which creators have access to their own affiliate links. But as a brand, like Bradley said, you have access to the brand referral bonus program, which will give you an attribution link. So attribution link is kind of like a different type of tracking link, and it gives you more insights, and it can also help you retarget audience for future paid campaigns if you want. But the key is that it is Amazon's way of rewarding you for bringing external traffic onto Amazon via paid ads, creators, whatever. So if you want to take advantage of this, Amazon rewards sellers with a kickback, a percentage of their fees back into your pocket based on how much traffic you drive back onto Amazon. So what you can do when you're working with an influencer is say, when we're doing this campaign, can you use this attribution link and drive traffic there instead of your own affiliate link? Now, the downside of creators doing that is they lose out on the affiliate commission. The upside is that Amazon pays you back the referral fee, and you can use this to incentivize the creator to either pay back the commission that they would have gotten from Amazon or offer an even higher commission rate to them for using your attribution link. And you will have access to how many sales were generated because of that attribution link on your end. All you have to do is just be, honest and transparent with the creator. Screenshots, here's how many sales you drove. So that's why I'm paying you this much in commission, let's say.
All right, you mentioned, finding influencers, through hashtags and different things, but what are some other platforms other than just TikTok itself or Instagram itself where I can look for influencers on? Maybe it's even other social media websites.
That's a really good question. So I always recommend doing a mix of long form websites and short form sites as well. So short form would be anywhere that content doesn't really last more than a couple of days. So like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. These are sites where you post something and new stuff is always coming. So the old stuff kind of goes away. But if you're looking at like a long form, not long form, but like long-term site, I would recommend Pinterest. Websites, blog articles, YouTube, for example, something where stuff is evergreen and you could be searching something like a keyword and a video from 5 years could pop up, or an image from 5 years could pop up, or an article per se. So it's always important to have evergreen content out there about your product or brand that people can search from years to come. And then also short form things like Instagram and TikTok. Those are the more popular social media sites, but it's important to have a mix of both there. And the key to that is, I think, repurposing content. So I always say one piece of content can go to like 7 different platforms. You can make a piece of content for TikTok, repost it onto Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, Pinterest, all these different sites. You could repost it onto YouTube Shorts, everywhere. And that's from one piece of content. And that YouTube and TikTok, one long term, one short term, and there you go.
All right, so I'm looking on all these platforms. I find a bunch of influencers I want to reach out to. You talked about the kind of things we could talk about, but I know something important is just getting the influencers' attention in the first place. You probably get hundreds of emails. How can I stick out? Like, is there something I should say in the email to kind of like stick out amongst all the other sellers who are trying to get your attention?
Yes. So the first thing I want to say about that is if you reach out to, let's say, 20 influencers and only get 2 responses, don't be upset. It's normal. It's okay. But here are some other things that can definitely help with the response rate of your outreaches. So I want to say that I get thousands of emails. Humbly, I get thousands of emails, but therefore I can see what emails I'm more likely to respond to and what emails just might not be worth responding to. So I want to say, when you are reaching out via email, make sure you have a subject line. It doesn't always have to be like paid partnership. That's not about it, but have a nice subject line to your email that might include the social media handle, partnership. I want to work with you, whatever it may be. Make it something that you would like to click on. And then once somebody clicks on your email, try to, refer to their name. Say, hey, Gracie, hey, whatever their name is, introduce yourself. Hey, I'm the brand owner of blah, blah, blah. And from there, there are some things that I always like to see included. You can always link to your product and say, hey, here's my product. Here's a link to check it out. I'm looking for these deliverables. I'm looking for a TikTok post. I'm looking for an Instagram post. I'm looking for a YouTube video, whatever it may be. Instead of saying like, I have $10, take it or leave it, you can say, this is going to be an affiliate commission-based deal or a commission-based deal. This is unpaid. This is going to have a flat fee. What are your rates? You tell me what your rates are. And from there, I will see if I think that's a good fit for my budget. And then you can offer them samples to try your product, because I always say you can't authentically speak on a product that you have never tried, right? So give them a chance to try out your product, offer them a product sample that not only they can try, but create the content with if they like it. And then say, if you like our product, if you think it's a good fit for your brand, let us know your rates and let you know if you want to work together. And from there on, the creator is able to say, great, I checked it out. I know what they're looking for. I might think it's a good fit. I have less questions to ask you for you to get back to me with. And I can go, yes, I'm interested. No, thanks, I'll pass. And it just saves tons of back and forth with the more information you can offer up front.
Awesome. All right. To wrap things up, just let's summarize things.
Sure.
Why do you feel that even, today, when somebody's watching this video, our listener, our student here, they're selling on Amazon, why do you think they should consider working with influencers?
To sum it all up, Amazon's competitive. And you can't rely solely on PPC to get that traffic to your listing. It's also going to be really crucial to create a brand for your product in case you want to exit later on, in case you want to create something that's bigger than just an Amazon listing, bigger off Amazon. And these are the ways to do it. You're going to want to, start building relationships with influencers that you might work really long term with, that might grow with you with the brand. You might want to have those brand ambassadors that can vouch for you and share with word of mouth and create content for you. You're going to need these things to grow your brand with long term. So these are just the things that might not be the first thought, but definitely should be a part of the bigger marketing puzzle for your brand. And that's why I think it's really important.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with the Freedom Ticket community. If people want to, check out your socials and see like what kind of videos an Amazon influencer does and perhaps reach out to you, how can people find you out there?
Well, my name is Gracie Ryback, and my social media is DealCheats on all platforms, DEALCHEATS, and my email is contact@dealcheats.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Gracie, for joining us, and we'll see you back on the podcast probably in a few months as well.
Sounds good.
Anh chị đang bán hàng trên Amazon, Skyrock cung cấp các dịch vụ dành cho các nhà bán hàng trên Amazon với mức giá cực kỳ ưu đãi như đăng ký brand với USPTO, từ LIêN, từ cho dầu cao, logistics và warehouse. Xem thêm thông tin chi tiết dưới phần mô tả nhé.